If you've ever been in front of a crowd, you've probably gotten nervous. Maybe your hands get shaky or you get some dry mouth, time might seem to slow down, or you may even get a little bit of tunnel vision. Mild stage fright isn't so bad, but it can really mess with your performance if it gets out of hand. I used to have really bad stage fright. I'd be okay for maybe the first minute or two, and then I would feel my body start to shake, and the shaking would get worse and worse, and I would also start to experience a little bit of tunnel vision. I would just have trouble thinking. It was just a terrible experience. Stage fright never completely goes away, but it's something I've learned to deal with over time. I'm going to share 4 things that have helped me conquer stage fright and get used to playing in front of people. I hope this helps you too. Tip number 1 is to be ultra prepared. If you practice your music to the point where you just know it inside and out, it's going to be a big confidence booster when you get on stage. Sometimes my mind blanked out, but my fingers would go on autopilot and keep on going. It's like my mind froze, but I had practiced so much that my body remembered what it was supposed to do. When you're practicing for a show, practice for the performance. By that, I mean don't always stop to fix your mistakes. It's important to do that sort of practice as well, but as you get closer to a show, you need to be able to go through an entire song or an entire set without stopping. Even if you make a mistake, you need to learn how to roll with the punches. Tip number 2 is to perform as often as you can. The way to get better at anything is just to do it a lot. One of the reasons we get nervous playing in front of a crowd is it's not something most of us do every day. But the more often you're able to play in front of people, the more normal it'll start to feel, and over time your stage fright will go down, down, and down. You'll still experience those nerves, but they'll diminish over time. You don't have to book a world tour to get used to playing in front of people. You can play in front of your family. You can play for your friends. If you go to church, you could volunteer to play at church, either as a soloist or as part of a group. And retirement homes, oh my goodness. If you play for a retirement community once a week or even once a month, they will love you. It's the best audience you'll ever have, and it's just very satisfying. You could also look for open mics. What I would do is first go to a bunch of different open mics as an audience member, see what it's like, see what the vibe is, see what kind of music they're doing, and then go sign up for the ones that you like. Open mics are a great way to get used to playing in front of people. So jump on any chance to play in public just for the experience of playing in front of people. It'll feel awkward at first and you'll probably get nervous, but it gets easier and easier over time. Tip number 3, and this one took me a long time to learn: do not fight the nerves. If you fight the nerves win every time. I mentioned that when I get nervous, the first thing I start to do is shake, which is not very helpful if you're a guitar player. What I used to do is when I felt the shaking coming on, I would just try to will my body not to shake, and I just ended up fighting myself, fighting that adrenaline, and it would just get worse and worse and worse. Now when I get nervous, I guess I'm a little more zen about it. I acknowledge that the nerves are there. I can feel it coming. It's almost like I'm greeting an old friend. It's like, yep, there you are. Hey, nerves, how are you? What I try to do is just relax while I'm playing, and very important, I try to breathe. And I take a deep breath and I'll let it out while I'm playing. Maybe breathe along with my musical phrasing, and that just helps kind of let that adrenaline out, helps let that adrenaline pass. If you're standing in front of a mic, you want to be careful with that breathing trick. You don't want to sound like Darth Vader. Tip number 4 took me a long time to learn. As a matter of fact, it's something I'm still working on. When you make a mistake, forgive yourself, forget it, and just keep on going. I don't care if you're an amateur or a pro. Everybody falls on their face at some point. The difference between an amateur and a pro is when an amateur makes a mistake, a lot of times they'll flinch or they'll make a face. It's almost like they're letting the audience know they made a mistake. A pro, on the other hand, will make a mistake, but just keep on going like nothing ever happened, and 9 times out of 10, nobody's going to notice. It may help to remember that when you make a mistake in the middle of a performance, that mistake can really be amplified in your mind, much bigger than it actually was. Let's say you're playing a song and it's going great, but somewhere in the middle of it you hit a bad chord. Now, in your own mind, you might be thinking, oh my God, that's terrible. Everybody heard that. Everybody thinks I suck. I think I suck. Why am I even playing guitar? I shouldn't even be here. While the audience member at that very same moment might be thinking, I'm hungry. Should I get burgers or tacos after this? Play your best, of course, but when you make a mistake, just keep on going, pretend nothing ever happened. I guarantee 9 times out of 10, nobody's going to notice. Your stage fright's not going to go away altogether, and you don't want it to completely disappear. That little bit of extra adrenaline, even fear, gives your performance a little bit of extra edge, a little bit of extra excitement. We talked about being prepared, performing as often as you can, not fighting yourself, and then just rolling with your mistakes. These aren't quick fixes, but they've helped me over time, and I hope they help you. Go ahead and leave a comment below if you have any tips of your own. You may be helping somebody. And finally, if you got something out of this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you would, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time with more guitar tips.